beautiful day as we await to see a mouth-watering clash between Foundation and Holland. But the question of this afternoon is, will Foundation rise to glory or Holland will spoil the party? For Foundation remains to be seen. We have seen fans getting ready for this final. Fans of Holland and Foundation. This is the Mansa and Sumareh sponsored Banyaka League finale. And of course, since the commencement, since the inception of this tournament, several teams from different corners, different communities participated in this tournament. But only 2 teams from this community are able to make it to the final, and that is Foundation and Holland. Teams from Madiana, Asalem participated. They lifted the knockout trophy after defeating 1 Infantry Battalion of All Yundum by a goal to nil. I stand to be corrected. And again, in the Genius League final, that is Nema Fulakunda lifted a trophy over a team in this community called Young Reals. And again, we are here to conclude the sponsored league finale by Mansa and Sumareh, who is already here at the Banyaka football field. Like I alluded earlier on, we thank him so very much in profusion for his contribution for football development in this community. And most of the time, you give credit to the sport committee for organizing a grassroots tournament, creating an environment for talents, for youth to showcase their talents. That alone is a monumental achievement. And of course, later, or sooner than later, we'll be joined by Mr. Lamin Fati of LSTV1. And you are still reminded that this game will be featured live on the LSTV1, both Facebook and YouTube. In case you're not able to make it here at the field, you could watch the match on either Facebook or YouTube. But this is a grand finale. The ground is set. And the 2 teams are set. And they are welcome to the battlefield. Which team will lift the first ever sponsored league trophy or league tournament by Mansa and Sumareh for the very first time? Will Foundation write their name in history and glory? It remains to be seen. Or will Holland write their name in the folklore of Banyaka sport for winning a trophy that is sponsored by Mansa and Sumareh? That remains to be seen. But these 2 teams are welcome to the battlefield. Foundation will have the ambition and of course the desire to lay their hands on a trophy. Likewise, Holland, they might tell you that they have the technical know-how to lift a trophy in Banyaka. But these are 2 teams that knew each other very well in this community. And today, they are playing a final for the very first time. And it will be a mega trophy right before their eyes. As time proceeds, of course, we'll see the giant trophy, the mega trophy, right before our eyes. Is the trophy heading to Holland, the Netherlands, or the trophy is heading to Foundation? Remains to be seen. But this is a clash of titans, a battle for supremacy, a battle for glory and pride. And anytime soon, we'll also see the Banyaka Vision FA mascots accompanying the 2 finalists on the pitch of play tonight. We also acknowledge the presence of our Red Cross volunteers for giving us medical assistance as far as this crucial final is concerned. And to each and everyone, sit back and enjoy a mouth-watering final between two stalwart teams, Foundation and Holland. I stop here for now until time proceeds for the grand kickoff, for the mega kickoff between these two sides. Hello. As the players walked on the pitch, they are getting ready for the gigantic clash between two stalwart teams, two powerhouse in this community. And you could see right before our eyes the fans of Holland and Foundation are with the banner bearing the name Mansa AN sponsored Sumareh sponsored Banyaka league finale between Holland and Foundation. It's the 28th of June 2026 with a giant trophy right before their eyes. And of course, Foundation are dressed in orange shirts and black shirts, black shorts, while Holland are dressed in black and white shirts, black shorts, black and white socks. And of course, they are working side by side with Banyaka Vision FA mascots. The U9 is with Holland, while the under 5 is with Foundation, who are dressed in orange and black shirts, black suits, blue and white socks. The banner is bearing Mansa AN sponsored Banyaka League Final, Holland and Foundation meeting for the 44th time in the final here at the Banyaka football field. And Mansa AN Sumareh is already in attendance watching this beautiful, gorgeous grand finale that he sponsored by himself. And he'll be very glad. His heart will be filled with overwhelming joy if Holland is to be crowned champions or either Foundation. Either teams could be champions tonight. It's one trophy, and we anticipate to see one champion tonight. Both sides have the formula and the technical know-how to lay their hands on a giant trophy that is right before their eyes. And of course, the U9 will serve as ball boys, and the U5 of Banyaka Vision FA mascots as far as this final is concerned. And now, the fans at the far side of the pitch are busy with excitement among themselves as they anticipate to cheer their boys on their route to glory. This is just beautiful. This is community football at its best. Now, our high-profile dignitaries, led by the sponsor himself, that is Mansa AN Sumareh. He is the sponsor of this league final between Foundation and Holland. And now, Mansa AN Sumareh led his dignitaries, giving motivation and encouragement to these players prior to the kickoff, while the game is featured live on LSTV1, both Facebook and YouTube. And later we'll be joined by Saliu Jallo of Capital FM 100.4, also the PRO of the Banyaka Sport Committee. But currently, as I speak, I am Bubakar Jallo, the Assistant IPR of the Banyaka Sport Committee, together with boss Pa Lamin Fati. This is community football at its pinnacle. Mansa AN Sumareh for the very first time sponsoring a league tournament here in Banyaka.
And the woman on camera or the lady on camera is Ami. I don't know it's Anwar.
And we'll observe the national anthem. DJ, in case you have the national anthem, you can prepare us the national anthem prior to the kickoff. And we can all rise up to give honor to our national anthem before the game proceeds. DJ, you can hold on. After the count of 2, you can be on the way. Now, after the count of 2, and the fans, you are asked to stop the drumming until after the national anthem. And after the count of 2, we'll observe the national anthem. 1, 2. Now, wherever you might be getting our glorious signals from, we're live from the Banyaka football field. Of course, to conclude the Mansa and Sumareh sponsored league final between Foundation and Holland. Any moment from now, the game will start. As our panel of referees has set the ground, is also set. We acknowledge the presence of our esteemed elders in this community and beyond for gracing this August gathering here at the Banyaka football field. Holland has set. Foundation is also set. Are we seeing Holland with a trophy over Foundation tonight? Remains to be seen. But this will be a wonderful showdown between two formidable teams. Holland and Foundation. And both sides mean business in this encounter. The beauty of community football. Holland marching towards their fans, giving them hope and ambition that they will lay their hands on a trophy tonight. While Foundation are also looking forward to do the same thing. But this will be an interesting clash. The ambience has started. Your fans of Holland and Foundation. And once again, this is the Mansa and Sumareh Sponsored League Final. Two formidable teams meeting in the final for the very first time. Holland defeated Hong Kong on post-match penalty shootout in the semi-finals, and now Mansa A and Sumareh will lead us the ceremonial kickoff. It has to be retaken, but Mansa A and Sumareh, the sponsor of this tournament, will take us through the ceremonial kickoff. That is the big man himself. Beautiful by Mansa A and Sumareh, the sponsor of this year's tournament. And the ball landed safely in the half of foundation. And now I will hand over the parting to Mr. Lamin Fati to take us through the ball-to-ball commentary as far as this final is concerned.
Thank you very much, Bubakar Jallo. And wherever you might be getting our voices and signals, you most welcome and welcome to the Banyaka football field. It is the 2025-26 edition of Mansa A and Sumareh sponsored Banyaka League final. And the final between, of course, one of the powerhouses in the football in Banyaka. Of course, Holland against Foundation, and of course the ground is already set, and it is all set for this huge class. And of course the Banyaka football field is getting to full capacity. But anyway, we will definitely get you the rundown of the starting 11, the central referee, and of course his panel. Holland currently under the guidance of Yankuba Kamara and Seni Y Kamara, whilst Ba Omar Kamara and Salifu Koli on the technical dugout for Foundation. And Foundation currently dressed in yellow shirts, black shorts, and black and white socks, playing from our right to left, whilst Holland dressed in a mixture of white and black shirts, black shorts, and of course black socks, playing from our left to right. And they will surely love to get a victory in the final, and if they love to get that, they have to get that against Foundation, who will equally love to get a victory over Holland. And of course Holland are hunting for their very first league trophy, while Foundation of course once won the league and also the knockout, and hoping to win it for the second time. And could they be able to do? And of course they have to do that against a Holland side that are currently dressed in black and white colors, whilst Foundation in their colorful mixture of orange and black colors. Currently from the Banyaka football field, and it is live on LSTV1. Parliament Party, Salih Jallo, and of course Bubakar Jallo. Behind camera operations is of course Amin Dao, coming to you live on LSTV1 as well. This has been a fantastic and great beginning from the Banyaka football field, and of course it is the 2026 edition of Mansa A and Sumareh sponsored Banyaka League final. One of these two must be crowned champions. Holland starting this game with Aliu Sonko in goal, Haruna Sane the team captain, Omar Sonko, Modlamin Sonko, Salum Kamara, Abdou Jao, Ensa Kamara, Asan Sanyang, Bubakar Koli, Salifu Fai, and Sang Sambu completes the 11, whilst Foundation under the leadership of head coach of Sheikh Omar Kamara and Salifu Koli. Lamin Kamara starts in goal, Babukar Koli, Yaya Sonko, Sana Dabo, Lamin Jaju, Ensa Jata, Sang Paul Mendy, Dauda Kamara, Mod Lamin Sise, Musa Marina, and of course Aliu K. Baji leads the line. And just as I said at the commentary cabin, Parliament Party, Salih Jallo, and of course our young Bubakar, of course Jallo at the commentary cabin, whilst Amin Dao is currently serving as the camera operator. We will definitely be here to get you every other proceeding as far as this great and grand final, which is proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa A and Sumareh. And we can confirm the presence of Mansa A and Sumareh, who has been accompanied by a high-powered delegation at the Banyaka football field, of course for the very first time sponsoring this tournament. And we believe this might be the first, but will not be the first and last, in Mansa Sumareh and his delegation, of course being part and parcel of this Banyaka Nawaitan, of course the 2026 edition. And Salih, I just want to say Salih was a bit late, but of course already has joined us at the Banyaka football field for this crucial and lively final between Holland and Foundation. Saliu, of course, it is an all Banyaka affair. We are definitely hoping to see who will surely walk away with this giant trophy and what is expected to be given out. But one thing is certain. There must be a winner either in regulation or post-match shootout, and the winner must be either Holland or Foundation.
Yeah, thank you very much. My brother and comrade in the media, that is Pa Lamin Fati, the country director of LSTV as well. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're getting our signals from. Well, yes, it's West Coast, it's Combo South, and it's Banyaka. A maiden package in this league final. Well, you're very right, Pa. I am late because I am married with different caps. Also, the media officer of TNT. And today is the last dance of the league. We had Serekunda is earlier on, but I have to, of course, put that aside and answer to the community call. Because Mansa and Sumareh answered our call together with his, I fondly call him the oddly of Mansa and Sumareh, that is Mr. Musa Njai. He's everywhere. He's also a keen follower of global sports. Well, of course, I would just love to talk much about Mansa, or more on Mansa and Sumareh. I believe he is not a stranger when it comes to the growth of community football, Pa Fati. Well, I met him the last time we were together was at Mandinaba, their league final. He was the main man. Mansa went there and sponsored their tournament. And after that, I had a chit chat with him. In fact, he's the one that invited me to cover that final. He has been inviting me in different finals, but it proved futile for me to be available. But then on that day, it was the second day of Tabasco, I stand to be corrected. I was with Mansa and Musa Njai. They sponsored that league final, and it was top-notch. I had a chit-chat with him about the upcoming Banyaka League final. And Mansa did not hesitate. He just informed me on the spot that, Saliu, I am going to sponsor your league final. Call me, and I will surely be there. And it was just a quick discussion, less than 1 minute. Mansa endorsed the Banyaka League final. And he brought what we call a made in heaven one. That is St. Paul over the bar. Experience matters. Represented Kunkujang. A top level player at the Brickham and Awetan. A teacher of excellence as well. That is St. Paul. But coming back to Mansa, you look at the table, Pafadi. You have been coming to Banyaka, but this is top notch. You know, bringing this package here today, a trophy for the winner, jerseys for the finalists, a trophy for the best player, the leading goal scorer, and the best showstopper of this competition will go on with something. And there is a cash prize also coming from Mansa. So, Mansa was in Farafenya last night. He left Farafenya this morning because he was invited in the Farafenya hour night, that is the Farafenya Sport Committee, because I was in Wasu yesterday covering the third division final. And Mansa told me, I'm in Farafenya and I will join you early morning in Combo. Mansa before that he was in Numuyel, I stand to be corrected. You know, that was a final. But before that, he went, of course, Sare Debo, I stand to be corrected. In a final, that Mansa was also there. He's everywhere. I call him the Ayatollah of grassroots football, the Supremo of community football. That is Mansa and Sumareh.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jallo. And welcome back to the Banyaka football field. In case you're just joining us, the score is already 0-0. Holland FC 0, Foundation Football Club 0. And both sides hoping to win it. And of course, if they are able to win it, this is going to be won in a grand style and fashion, as already the Banyaka football field is almost full to capacity. And of course, fans continue to pile in search for the winner between these two sides, either Holland or Foundation, to be crowned champions and champions of Mansa A.N. Sumareh sponsored Banyaka League Final. And this is for the very first time Mansa behind this tournament, and we believe it's going to be having more and more as far as football in Banyaka is concerned. And currently Holland kicking from our left to right, whilst Foundation playing from our right to left. And Holland trying to unlock the solid defense, and this time strike comes in and over the crossbar, of course, and Ali Scare for the boys dressed in orange and black colors foundation, whilst Holland continue to pile pressure inside. That was, of course, a massive chance for Holland to hit the back of the net, but unfortunately, the player blazed the ball over the crossbar.
Yes, you're very right, and that is their number 15. Well, but then Babu was there to, of course, cut that traffic. But the team captain for Holland, that is, of course, the number 16. I don't know whether you remember him or you recognize him. He's also the head coach of Banyaka Vision Football Academy, that is Saruna, a police officer who's currently working at the Jarasoma police station. But he also played for Banyaka, that is the Banyaka United. You know, he was part of the, of course, the Legends game here as well. But Haruna is a top-notch player. He's currently the longest-serving player of this community today.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jallow. Entertaining and lively. And this game is also coming to you live from the Banyaka football field, and it is live on LSTV. Just as I said that he came in Parliament Party, Saliu Jallow, and of course Bubakar, fantastic job. Of course, the pre-match formalities being led by, of course, our brother and colleague, of course, Bubakar Jallow. Whenever I come to Banyaka, I feel very proud of the youngster. But anyway, he is going to be part and parcel of this. Already is a throw in on the far side for the boys dressed in black and white colors foundation, or Holland to be precise, and Holland will hope to win this for the very first time, whilst foundation will love to add this trophy in the list of trophy cabin. Of course, the trophies in their respective trophy cabin. They already won a trophy here in both the league and knockout, and they will love to add this league to their league trophy cabin, whilst Holland are yet to win any trophy as far as Banyaka football is concerned, and they would love to win it for the very first time. And if they are to win it, they have to get that against the formidable Foundation FC side. Currently, the game is temporarily stopped as the central referee has already ordered the medical team to the rescue of the player. Central referee is Mustafa Jame, assisted by Babu Karli Al-Hassan Tambedu, Lamin M. Jallo, whilst Fatmata Marena serves as the match commissioner of this lively and entertaining showdown. And of course, it is entertaining on and off the pitch. And of course, this is the Banyaka football field. Whenever you come here, satisfaction, of course, when it comes to entertainment, is always assured. And Bubakar has been our eyes and ears when it comes to football in Banyaka. And of course, Bubakar will definitely take us through as far as the massive support and of course the fan base between the two set of teams, of course Holland and Foundation Football Club. And Bubakar, this wasn't the first time we are here. Whenever we come here, most especially in the finals, teams are mostly decorated and the fans will come in numbers to cheer their respective clubs to glory.
Absolutely, Mr. Fatih. You look at the far side of the pitch, you could see the fans of Holland and the Foundation. You know, this is colorful. This is absolutely very beautiful. This is what is spoken about in this community. That is football. So all the time when there is football, they just show up and give support to their respective teams, because this is what they dream. This is what they talk about every day. This is what they breathe. So no wonder they are really gingering the ground. That is Foundation Fans Club and also Holland Fans Club. Very colorful at the far side of the pitch. I'm not surprised that this ground is very, very exciting and entertaining as we speak, Mr. Fatih.
Thank you very much, Bubakar Jallow. Earlier on, Saliu Jallow, and of course, a special focus on the game. Holland against Foundation, and the score is currently 0-0. Foundation having two players currently behind the ball. Of course, a crowded penalty area for the boys dressed in black and orange. Delivery, Aliu Kebaji nearly had a touch, but unfortunately, he could not hit that. And of course, Holland survive. And Holland will surely start the play from their own half. Not for too long. It's now the turn of Foundation, who are trying to cause some problems in the earliest of moments. Central referee has already ordered for a play on. And already these two sides are definitely hungry in carving a breakthrough. But anyway, the score is already 0-0 in case you're just monitoring situations. Mustafa Jame is the central referee, assisted by Bubakar Lee, Alhassan Tambedu, Lamin M. Jallo, and Fatmata Marena serving as the match commissioner. And currently, Holland will of course start the play from their own half through Ensa Kamara. And Ensa has been a great face when it comes to football in Combo South, and he played for Tanje extensively in the Combo South District Football Tournament, and now is a throw in on the far side, and the foundation side will solely rely on the right back and 15, Yaya Sonko. And Yaya will definitely get that, plays that ball short, currently having more and more players of Holland Football Club behind the ball, and finally is another throw in. It has been an end-to-end contest coming from both sides as both sides work towards cancelling each other's defense in search for the breakthrough, but so far so good. We are yet to see a goal, and of course we believe, Saliu, a goal in this contest will definitely change the entire dynamics of this contest, of course between Holland and Foundation.
Yes, you are very right. And I believe the other team came via the back door. That is, of course, via an appeal. I believe it's Holland. I stand to be Foundation. I stand to be corrected because the appeal against the defending champions, that is Green Ghetto of Lamin, that is Deco. And they crossed the hurdle via that appeal, and he had playing a final against a team that is yet to taste what we call a glory in this land. I believe a goal from either side will surely increase the euphoria, the ambience in this beautiful, of course, pending mini stadium, you may call it. It's a dream, you know, we are asked to dream, so we are dreaming. You look at the goalness, this is top notch, and this can hook the Council of Elders of Combo South, including yourself, to, of course, host most of these Combo South district games in this ground, because Banyaka football ground is now fully fenced, and we need some just a little bit adjustment, and of course we kick it up, because you look at the ground, it's a very good level playing ground compared to the ground that I went yesterday, that is at the Wasu football field at that division final. It was a difficult one, of course, to have a very fine play, but these two sides understand each other very well, and it's going to be an end-to-end counter, Pafati. Don't be surprised seeing goals galore in here. You watch that kick off from Mansa, and it simply means that this game is not for the weak. It's going to be an end-to-end counter in this final, Pafati. Yes, the committee will be praying for a replay. Maybe their prayers won't reach heaven. Maybe it will reach heaven. But a Sunday like this, they always want their prayers to reach heaven. But let's enjoy the final. Let's enjoy community football in Banyaka.
It's community football, and community football at its best. The score is still 0-0. Holland 0, Foundation 0. And now Holland will definitely have the chance to deliver this ball deep in their own half through their shot stopper Aliu Sonko. In case you're just joining us, Holland started this game with Aliu Sonko in goal, Haruna Sane, Omar Sonko, Modlamin Sonko, Salum Kamara, Abdou Diawo, Ensa Kamara, Asan Sanyang, Babukar Koli, Salifu Fai, and of course Sang Sambu completes the 11, and the team is under the guidance of Yusufa Kamara and Seni Y Kamara, whilst Pa Omar Kamara is on the technical area alongside Salifu Koli of Foundation. And Foundation started this game with Lamin Kamara in goal, Babukar Koli, Yaya Sonko, Sana Dabo, Lamin Jaju, Ensa Jata, Sang Paul Mendy, Dauda Kamara, Mod Lamin Sise, Musa Marina, and Aliu K. Baje leads the line. And this score is currently 0-0, and these two sides were in different groups, Group B and Group C to be precise. Holland Football Club were in Group C alongside 1 Infantry Battalion, Amdalai Football Club, Aminas Gas, and Medina United. And in that group, of course in Group C, we had Holland that advanced to the quarterfinal alongside 1 Infantry Battalion and Amdalai Football Club. While in Group B, it was Foundation and Colombia that sailed to the quarterfinal. And in the quarterfinal of the competition, Holland faced Asalem United or Asalem FC, and in a game that ended 0-0 in regulation before heading to post-match shootout, where the team advanced on post-match shootout, and in the semi-final, the side got the better of Tong Kong on post-match shootout after a nail-biting 1-1 draw before advancing 4-3 on post-match shootouts. And here they are meeting Foundation, who in the quarterfinal got the better of Colombia, of Amdalai rather, in the quarterfinal before getting the better or before losing to Green Ghetto, and the side was able to advance to the final after filing a protest against Green Ghetto, and of course they had a successful protest. This is why they are currently facing Holland in the final, and for the very first time in the final, but the final is yet to produce a goal, and we will definitely be here to solely get you goals. If we can get a goal in regulation, post-match shootout will definitely do its job. Of course, it is either in regulation, post-match shootout, or a replay to do its job, but that of course going to be confirmed by the organizing committee of Banyaka Football Committee or Banyaka Sports Committee under the guidance and of course the presidency of Mr. Abbas Jata, who took charge of Mr. Kemo Jawara, who took charge of the sports committee for the past 8 years. Of course, he was able to serve his 2 term before rejoining the sports committee as the current executive member. And of course, Abbas Jata is the president of the sports committee, and the first vice president Omar Mane, second vice president Fali Sonko. Of course, the secretary general is Lamin Toure, who is ably and reliably assisted by Amfal Soli, Odito Musa Baji, public relation officer Saliu Jallo, assisted by Bubakar Jallo, social secretary Sekou Jata, who is ably and reliably assisted by Yasin Sonko, and of course, the treasury department is under the leadership of course, the former sports chairman, Mr. Kemo Jawara, having the assistance of Maimuna Jata, Aliu Kamara, and of course Ibrahima Kamara are also part and parcel of this sports committee. And of course the committee is currently having a fantastic job. Initially the field was on fence, and with the commitment of the sports committee and the force being given by the entire population of Banyaka, the field is already fenced and secured, and now the people of Banyaka wouldn't struggle just like the people of Nyofela are struggling, Saliu, because we will definitely have to go and get this locally fencing materials to get our field fence. But of course Banyaka, that is history in the community.
A massive history. This is a community, or this is a town that speak one language, and that is unity, togetherness. And that is why we have Mansa and Sumareh here, because he will tell you, wherever there is unity in community football, I will surely be there. And of course, we thank, of course, the women gardeners, that is Sofa Lead, for playing a pivotal role. The VDC under Mr. Kamara, Lamin and the team, for of course supporting as well the fencing project, and even Mr. Khalifa Baji, the team manager of course Banyaka Vision, played a pivotal role in donating bags of cement in this field project. And also from the gate takings, we played a pivotal role. It's like we have to fight tooth and nail to do it on our own, and today we can say Alhamdulillah, we have reached a level that Nyofele is still praying to reach. And probably Nyofele and other communities surrounding here, they will come here for a case study. How, of course, a beautiful football ground is fans. I just don't want to, push you to the wall because you are the content of LSTV. You can assign my sister to cut off this commentary for now. But then, thank you very much, Pa. It is indeed a great pleasure to be here today.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jallo, earlier on Bubakar. And now Holland FC will solely try to get the ball in their opposition serve, but partly caught out, and Sang Sambu picks possession, lays that ball on the far side. The flag of the assistant referee stayed down, and Holland FC will still try to unlock the solid defense. And finally the ball has been blocked to touch for a throw in on the far side. Of course, this is one of the most competitive final that we have recently watched at the Banyaka football field, and it has been entertaining on and off the pitch. Holland nil, Foundation nil. Who is going to find the breakthrough before the end of the game? And of course, that is yet to be confirmed. Holland still nil, Foundation still nil. Who is definitely going to get the breakthrough remains to be seen. But of course, a goal in this contest will totally change the dynamics as far as this game between Holland and Foundation is concerned. Both sides were able to negotiate their way to this final. Of course, they had, of course, difficult pathway before reaching the final, played the group stages before reaching the quarter-final, semi-final, and finally to the final. And of course, this year's knockout final was proudly and officially won by Asalem Football Club after getting the better of one infantry battalion in a nail-biting knockout final at the Banyaka football field, where Asalem Football Club sailed by a goal to nil, defeating 1 Infantry Battalion. And now it is the turn of Holland O Foundation to get their hand on the mega trophy, proudly and officially sponsored by Mansa A.N. Sumareh. And Mansa is already with us, accompanied by his high-powered delegation. And of course, we have to say special thanks to Mansa A.N. Sumareh for coming to the aid of the people of Banyaka. Of course, Sang Sambu lifts it forward, ball being headed forward, flag of the assistant referee, finally down. And still 2 players currently down, and the central referee Mustafa Jame has already urged the medical team to the rescue of the 2 players. And we have to give commendation to the medical team that are currently with us at the Banyaka football field, making sure any player, every spectator and any fan comes to the Banyaka football field safe and sound, entertaining on and off the pitch. And we are definitely loving the atmosphere, Abubakar.
Definitely loving the atmosphere, Mr. Fatih. You could see both sides are playing a wonderful showdown of football since the inception. But all what they need to do is to find the back of the net at these early stages. And if that could be done by either side, they will surely be very optimistic to lay their hands on a trophy that is sponsored by Mansa A.N. Sumareh. Let's see which team will write their name in history. The first ever trophy sponsored by Mansa A.N. Sumareh here in Banyaka. Will it be Holland for the very first time, a team that is yet to know what a trophy is? Will they write their name in a trophy that is sponsored by Mansa A.N. Sumareh? That remains to be seen. Or will Foundation also do the same? Remains to be seen. But both sides have the ingredients to lift a trophy here at the Banyaka football field, Mr. Fatih.
Thank you very much, Abubakar. It has been an end-to-end contest from the Banyaka football field. Who is going to hit the back of the net remains to be seen. And of course, from the Boxbar Mini Stadium in Brikama yesterday in the West Coast Region 3rd Division final, where Jam City sailed over the Bruford Base Club. And now Ensa Kamara will get the ball back to the shot stopper. And now Foundation, or Holland rather, will start the play from their own half, courtesy of the goalkeeper Aliu Sonko. Aliu seems to be a calm and composed shot stopper. Gets that ball on the right side to Ensa Kamara. Ensa lifts it forward to the center forward, trying to unlock the defense. The player trying to unlock the central defense. But of course, the central defense allowed enough Lamin Jaju to block that ball to touch for a throw in. It's still Holland nil, Foundation nil. Who is going to hit the back of the net for the very first time this afternoon remains to be seen. And you are reminded that this game is coming to you live from the Banyaka football field in the final, proudly and officially sponsored by Mansa A.N. Sumareh. And the goalkeeper allowed enough to clear that ball massively. And of course, timely interception by the shot stopper Aliu Sonko, who is currently in goal for Holland. And in the opposite goal post is Lamin Kamara. Both gaffers are currently industrious on the technical dugout. Yusufa Kamara and Sheikh Omar Kamara of course on the technical dugout. Of course, interestingly, we have the Kamara brothers serving as the head coaches. Now an attack coming from Foundation. Could this be a moment? What a hit! What a hit from Musa Marena! And that was just inches of the goal post, Salio.
Well, I watched him play at the Trujillo football field. He's a fine player. And that was a wake-up call for Holland. That could have been a thunderbolt of a goal. But Marena, you remember, he's a brother to Fabakari Marena as well, and Superintendent Marena, the immigration department. But he's a fine player. He's a fine player. And I believe an opportunity like that, if at all he can get the second chance, he will surely amend that Pafati. Take it from me.
A scare for Holland. That was a beauty of a chance coming from Musa Marena. And Musa, of course, had a thunderbolt, but unfortunately could not hit the goal post of Holland Football Club. Holland survive, and Foundation must be very much disappointed after Musa Marina failed to convert from close range. And now on the far side is Foundation, or Holland to be precise, who lifts the ball forward, and the score is still 0-0 in case you're just joining us. And you are reminded that this is coming to you live from the Banyaka football field, live on LSTV at the cabin, Parliament Fatih. Saliu Jalo Bubakar at the commentary cabin, while Zamin Dow behind camera operations. And of course, in this tournament in Group A, we have Asalem United, Green Ghetto Tongkong Football Club, Besekia Football Club, all hands in Group A. And in Group B, we have Columbia Foundation, Tuba United, and Sinchang United. In Group C, we have 1 Infantry Battalion, Holland Football Club, Amdalai, Aminas Gas, and Medina United. And in the group stages in Group A, we have Asalem that advanced to the quarterfinal alongside Green Ghetto and Tongkong. Whilst in Group B, we have Colombia and Foundation sailing a spot in the quarter-final of the competition. Whilst in Group C, we have one infantry battalion, Holland and Amdaline, booking their respective places in the quarter-final. And in the quarter-final, of course, Holland Football Club met Asalem, and the game ended 0-0 before Holland Football Club advanced on post-match shootout, booking a place in the semi-final. And in the semi-final, it ended 1-1 against Tongkong before the team advanced on post-match shootout, defeating Tongkong 4-3 on penalties to book a spot in the final. And the final now hoping to win the competition for the very first time. And of course, Holland Football Club, under the guidance of Yusufa Kamara and Seni Y Kamara, of course the Kamara brothers on the technical dugout, whilst Sheikh Omar Kamara and Salifu Koli on the technical dugout for Foundation, who are hunting for their second, who are currently hoping to win the league trophy for the second time. And of course, they already won the league once, won the knockout once, whilst Holland Football Club are still hunting their first major trophy as far as football in Banyaka is concerned. And currently, Holland started this game with Aliou Sonko in goal, Haruna Sane, Omar Sonko, Modlamin Sonko, Salim Kamara, Abdou Jao, Ensa Kamara, Asan Sanyang, Bubakar Koli, Salif Fai, and Sang Sambu completes the 11, whilst Foundation having Lamin Kamara in goal, Babukar Koli, Yaya Sonko, Sana Dabo, Lamin Jaju, Ensa Jata, Sang Paul Mendy, Dauda Kamara, Mod Lamin Sise, Musa Marena, and Aliou K. Baji currently completes the 11 for the side. And of course, the score is 0-0. In case you're just monitoring situations, this is coming to you live from the Banyaka football field, and it is live on LSTV1 in a tournament and final which is proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa A.N. Sumareh. And Mansa Sumareh is already with us, not only with us, but he's also with us with his high power delegation. Cross comes in and into the bottom corner, and of course Holland got their noses in front from the Banyaka football field, and it is Salum Kamara who broke the deadlock, and the supporters have already invaded the pitch at the Banyaka football field. And Bubakar, already it is Holland 1, Foundation 0. Crazy scenes at the Banyaka football field.
Absolutely crazy, Mr. Fati. You could see Holland were really dictating the tempo of the game. And when they got that opportunity, they looked very threatening. And that is why their player was able to connect that player who is a fox in the box. And he was able to convert from just 6 yards out in the penalty area. It was so close for him to find the back of the net. And now they got their noses in front for the first time in this final with a goal. Holland, will they go in for their first ever trophy? Remains to be seen. But this is a wonderful goal coming from the goal scorer.
Could this be a moment? Could this be a moment for Holland to lay their hand on the trophy for the very first time? A trophy proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa A.N. Sumareh. Saliu Jallo, what we were waiting for, the goal and the breakthrough we were waiting for, is already here. And of course came courtesy of Salum Kamara, who hit the bottom corner of the goal post to, of course, get the Holland faithfuls to the dreamland. And of course the dreamland at the Banyaka football field. Of course we were talking about a goal or goals here, and already Salum has already given a goal at the Banyaka football field. And currently, Holland enjoy this slender advantage, leading by a goal to 0, courtesy of Salum Kamara.
A player that is married with experience is fondly called Limam. He's part of the Banyaka United team that lost the final to Sanchaba, the Mariana football field. But I believe Limam is a fine player. That is experience at the highest order there, because the goalkeeper thought he's having that kind of a replica of Emmanuel Noah, the goal against the the goals that Germany conceded. And of course, is it against Colombia? Stand to be corrected. But of course, the goalkeeper was caught napping, and Salum already took country in paradise. And Salum's name will be written in the history books of this committee and the community under the chairmanship of Mr. Of course, Abbas Chata and Lamin Kamara, that Salum Kamara is the first ever player to score a league final that is fully sponsored by Mansa El Sumareh. Remember, this is the maiden sponsored, fully sponsored league final in the history of Banyaka and Wetan. For more than decades, football have been here. We have been saying Katu Danfo, Kupe Danfo. But this is a massive support from Mansa, and Salum have already written his name, and his name will be remembered. Pafati. A goal that, of course, ignites the game tempo, and, of course, a delight for Holland, a dismay for Foundation for the time being, and also a dismay for the sport committee. They don't want to see a goal. Probably they're praying for a replay.
And now probably they might be praying to Foundation to, of course, get an equalizer. But we will definitely be here to get you every other proceeding as far as this final is concerned. And already Foundation leading by a goal to nil, courtesy, of course, Holland rather, leading by a goal to nil, courtesy of Salum Kamara. And Salum got the breakthrough. And of course, currently, the supporters of Holland are currently in the dreamland, hoping to secure this trophy, of course, proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa AM Sumareh, coming to you live from the Banyaka football field and live on LSTV, one at the cabin. Parliament Party, Saliu and Bubakar Jallo behind camera. Of course, behind a camera operations is Amin Dow, calling in for a handball, but central referee very close to the scene. And Mustafa, very close to the scene, has already given an opportunity to the side that is currently trailing by a goal to nil. And of course, Foundation will now redouble their efforts. And now the number 10, St. Paul Mendy, is currently behind the ball. He has been a great face in the Combo South District Football Tournament for Kunkujang Mariama, and currently playing for Foundation, who currently trailed by a goal to nil against their opponents. And the goalkeeper nearly had a touch. And the goalkeeper not interested. Is that a penalty? And that is already given, and it's a penalty given by the central referee. And Foundation will now have the chance to get their name on the score sheet. And let's just wait and see. A player is currently down, and central referee has already pointed to the spot for a penalty. And of course, a moment for Foundation to equal the score here. And Saliu, they just need to hit the back of the net. And of course, they will be 1-1. Probably the Marabu of the sports committee might be at work, Saliu.
You're very right, Pa. And indeed, that was a poor goalkeeping. They were trying to, of course, complain to the referee that the player in orange and black had a hand in the goalkeeper's injury, but the referee turned deaf yesterday. And the other one, it is a high boot when the other player in the other camera, who is currently married the crown, use his head. And the referee was also very close to the scene. And now you see that is Kamara, the longest serving coach of the Banyaka town team, speaking or having a community meeting with the fourth official. But it is a penalty for, of course, Foundation. Can they restore parity? Can they pull one back? Marina have already scored a goal illegally. But then, coming back to that, the goalkeeper have to save Holland in this first half. If they are to punish Foundation, or if they are to clinch their maiden league trophy or their maiden trophy in the history of Banyaka. But for now, Dauda is to receive his treatment. And then, who will take the penalty? Matters a lot. A player that will surely restore parity and bring this game up, bring this game back to life.
What a moment. And a moment from the Banyaka football field. Already Holland leading by a goal to nil. And Foundation trail, but currently it's a penalty for Foundation. And Foundation will just need to rely on a penalty specialist to bring parity in this contest. Currently having a great number of their players behind the ball. And Holland will now rely on Aliu Sonko to save this penalty. Aliu Kebaji, number 9, and the center forward, who played in the top division for the Gambia Armed Forces. And of course played in the 3rd division of West Coast Region 3rd division for C4 United this season. And Aliu is now given the glorious and huge responsibility. And watch out for the supporters of Foundation. They can't just wait to see their team getting an equalizer here. Aliu Baji, huge responsibility on his shoulder. And of course another responsibility on the shoulder of the shortstopper Aliu Sonko. And of course, Aliu is currently facing his namesake Aliu. Aliu facing Aliu. Aliu Sonko currently in goal facing Aliu Kebaji. 9 on his back. The center forward for Foundation Football Club, dressed in orange shirts, black shorts, and a mixture of white and black shirts. A tournament proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa and Sumareh. And Aliu Kebaji will now deliver. We will anxiously wait. Aliu Kebaji against Aliu Sankar. Could this be a moment? Of course, Aliu Kebaji hit the topmost goal post. And of course, Foundation back on level terms. And of course, 1-1 from the Banyaka football field. Earlier on, Salim Kamara broke the deadlock for Holland. And all of a sudden, the central referee awarding a penalty to Foundation. And Aliu Kebaji step up and beautifully converting from the spot. And of course, Aliu Jalo, it is 1-all. 1-all from the Banyaka football field and probably the Marabu at work. The score is currently 1-1. And of course, this game is of course game on.
Don't you see the chairman smiling? Simply means that the Marabu is at work. And it's working well for them now. But then, that is a penalty at the highest order. Well taken. You know, I told you in community football sometimes experience matters. Well, the shotstopper was waiting in heaven, not knowing that the goal poacher, that is Aliu Kebaji, is married with experience. You cannot play to that level of Gambian football and still you don't know how to convert a penalty at a nervy moment. And Baji just came at one point in time. The Jolaman will tell you, Baji yo noken muramben bukanap, and he did just that.
Thank you very much, Aliu Jalo. And it is game on from the Banyaka football field. Holland 1, Foundation 1. Earlier on, it was Salum Kamara who broke the deadlock to give the advantage to Holland. At that point, we thought it was going to be a special show for Holland Football Club. But all of a sudden, Foundation Football Club awarded a penalty and they were able to overturn and turn this game over its head. And the game is currently 1-1 from the Banyaka football field. Fantastic force half between Holland and Foundation, and both sides are now working on getting the second. Could that be a moment for both sides to get the second? Remains to be seen. And into the safe and easy gloves of the shortstopper Aliu Sonko, who at some point thought he was going to save that penalty from Aliu Kebaji. But Aliu Kebaji used his experience and brilliance to poke home the equalizer. And of course, it is 1-1 from the Banyaka football field in an entertaining and lively, of course, a massive turnout at the Banyaka football field. This is definitely not a surprise. Whenever you turn out to the Banyaka football field to watch games, most especially in finals, turnout is never an exception. So once again, we have seen a massive turnout, great turnout from the Banyaka football field. And of course, we believe this must boil down to sensitization, media, and of course publicity in making sure people are here to watch out this great final. And of course, it is halftime, and halftime from the Banyaka football field, halftime between Holland and of course Foundation. This is where we're going to have a halt on the commentary. We will have of course 15 minutes of rest while Aliu Jalo will entertain or of course engage Mansa and Sumareh, who is of course the main sponsor of this tournament. And of course, if Mansa is done, before handing the mic to Sali, we will definitely hand the mic to Bubakar Jalo for some reactions before finally handing the mic to Sali for some halftime team talk between him and Mansa and Sumareh.
Absolutely, Mr. Fatih. A wonderful piece at the Banyaka football field in this first half. We have seen a wonderful football from Holland. They dictated the tempo since the beginning of the game. Salum Kamara broke the deadlock, and just minute 37, of course, Aliu Kebaji was able to convert for his side. Although Aliu Sonko, the goalkeeper for Holland, rose to the highest, was trying to challenge a ball in the air, but he was punished by, of course, creating an infringement on a player of Foundation, and he was punished for that. And then a penalty was given to Foundation, and it was just perfectly converted by Aliu Kebaji. And now it's 1-all. Now both sides will have to make some adjustments and improvement in the first half to ensure that they can lift a trophy tonight. Both sides played wonderful since the inception of the first half. Now to the halftime break, coaches will now have this opportunity to of course make amendments and changes if they see any error in the first half, trying to make amendments if they want to lay their hands on a trophy coming back in the second half.
Thank you very much, Bubakar. And if Saliu is of course done, we will hand the mic to him for some halftime engagements. And you are reminded that this tournament, of course, proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa and Sumareh, who is already with us at the Banyaka football field. Not only him, but of course with his high-powered delegation. to, of course, witness this great and grand final between Holland and Foundation. It is halftime and halftime from the Banyaka football field, and it is halftime between Holland and Foundation, and the score is already 1-1.
It's okay. All right, the ambecta contande di watana of course kidi Mansa and Sumareh ku nekk di sponsor Banyaka League final bi fii ci Banyaka di 28 of June 2026 kidi Mansa yàgg na di wër dëkk bi mu ngi wër dëkk bi di support community football grassroots football ci biir ak ci biti just démb rek ñi di Farafenni invite nañ ko ci seen award night bi Mansa mun fa woon te daje woon naa ak moom foofu noonu ca Mandina Ba seen final bi moo ko dépensé dem na ba base maanaam Banjul ba bolli banna katom be koy na Mansa naka nga gisee of course sa ndimbal ci wàllum community football te wër nga dëkk bi wër nga Gambie yëpp di jàppale ndaw di jàppale community football.
Salif jërëjëf trop waaye maa ngi leen di nuyu di leen santaan di wax ne kontaan na trop di ma ñëwee Banyaka fii ak li ma gis fi tey dal na suma xel. Man nag dafa mel dama nekk koo xamante ne dama bëgg a football bi ma nekkee xale ak léegi nii dama bëgg a football trop so ba léegi nii loolu moo nekk suma yaram daal so ni ma dee dimbale nit ñi nii du suma sago because leneen noonu dama ko bëggoon ba pare nam dama gis ne suma pour dimbale xale pour lim bëgg a daal dafa bokk pour defar réew bi daal so loolu moo tax daal guddi ak bëccëg maa ngi taxaw daal pour ma gis ne daal football bi ak xale yi daal niñ bëgg a daal ci football bi pour ñu mun ko am daal so loolu moo sonn si affaire football.
Mansa naka nga gisee development of community football because yow xam nga yëpp ndaanaan nga ko kàngam nga si wàllum support community football fii ba of course nu mu yel dem nga fa Saare Debo Jida ñoo doon play ama yow yaa xam team si community si wóor nga fii yëpp si community football bi naka nga gisee di growth of community football jamono bii nii naka la nekk di demee.
Since last year léegi nii li ma am certificate almost 60 something.
xam nga da nga war a tabax si nguurum pour loolu rek.
loolu rek 60 something certificate appreciation certificate country wide.
dafa mel ni travel nga to 60 something communities. si Gambia fii nii.
Demba rek maa ngi am certificate Demba.
foofu ca
Farafenni. yaa ngi gis so.
loolu yëpp pour wax la thank you for supporting community football.
last week maa ngi am ñaari certificate. benn bi Saare Debo benn bi Banjul Ndeng. ma understand today also you see. maa ngi war am fi certificate am also. so you see so dafa mel ni daal man daal every week daal. so war na am certificate te dama day am certificate. every week.
maanaam ñu lay wax thank you. every week de la dee wax thank you te yow tamit every week yaa ngi support waaw
support yeah
si kalama sose rek man nga kango yala ma ko roje nyaadi community football o
well ngaje ko no ka fonninkol ma koy banko kam ak affaire kala pour ka banko dingol ma koy ka fonninkol ma koy ka banko le ma koy because fonninkol lafta men na banko kan defne wala mo kayrote so andu la nyimbala bo nyoto nyina fana nyina kindi e ka tenkunno ajibe bi fonninkol no te fata jang e man stress o soto so but ni be sinen sol ko no ka stress so ñin dam mando ñina ka kinno ka stress bondi ko dum ko dol ko mi ngi manyina duna jeto so no ñin competition sifa la priority youth sol tema definitely la bitata bakele so aka kulta la ni kul kono bakele so
man sa iyaita of course ñing banko kan ka of course community football ma koy yala ma ko ro fanan alla development on fo ibajele kanne that the teams are really appreciating the communities are really appreciating you just in mandinka
yeah team will ba appreciate kan the community ba appreciate kan because niya korose comme ga fo nyamen do kabo last year fo ñina 60 something appreciation certificate ngawla soto so most like every week that ka certificate or soto
because every week you are helping
every week yeah every week tournament either opening or closing
thank you
final yeah every week.
Your final message to of course to all the communities that you went to Tara Damento Bay what is your final message to them
I'm content back so how they appreciate me young appreciate nyam defana appreciate wala nyam and I will continue to help them yes
thank you Mansa.
thank you very much
Salu, they are done.
yeah
It's on you if you are done.
Use this. Snap the match phone because my phone is there. I always snap the my phone. Maybe you can snap the match phone. Yeah, maybe we can use that during substitution. So maybe you snap the match phone. I'm in my phone.
Welcome back to the Banyaka football field for the continuation of the live commentary, and it is the second and final half of the Mansa AN Sumareh sponsored Banyaka League final between Holland and Foundation, and the score is 1-1. Holland got their noses in front courtesy of Salum Kamara before Aliu K. Baji stepping up to poke home from just 12 yards to bring parity in this contest. And it is of course 1-1 from the Banyaka football field. Second and final half. We must have a winner in regulation. Post-match shootout or a replay to decide this final. And of course a replay could only be decided by the organizing committee of Banyaka Sports Committee under the presidency of Mr. Abbas Jata. Of course, we also have Mr. Kemo Jawara, the former sports chairman, who is still part and parcel of the current committee but serving in a different role. The president is Abbas Jata, ably and reliably having the assistance of Omar Mane Mfali Sonko, Lamin Toure Amfal Soli Musa Baje, Saliu Jalo Bubakar Jalo, Seku Jata, Yasin Sonko, Kemo Jawara, Maimuna Jata, Aliu Kamara, and of course Ibrahima Kamara, making a fantastic list of committee members running or steering the affairs or the wheels of sports in Banyaka. And of course this is of course a great unit. Fantastically erected a fence at the Banyaka football field. A field fencing at some point was never expected. You talk to many of the football or sports enthusiasts in the community, they will tell you getting this field fenced is only a dream, but turning the dream to reality was early done by the sports committee with the support of the entire population or community of Banyaka. So we have to say thank you very much, Banyaka, for contributing immensely towards the success of the completion of this field project. And now probably that they will be working towards is getting an artificial turf at this very football field. And of course that is attainable, of course, with hopes and beliefs. And Holland is currently 1 and Foundation 0. Now Foundation will play from our left to right from our commentary cabin, whilst Holland kicks from our right to left. It has seen a fantastic first half, and of course hoping to see another magnificent second half. Bubakar, it has been a great first half, and already into the second period both sides are currently working towards getting a second goal, but of course they will be cautious and very cautious defensively.
Absolutely, Mr. Party. Mr. Fati, they will launch attacks and also defend as well. You cannot go on attacking and you fail to defend, because if you do that, things might fall apart for you. But of course, it's a great first half we have seen. Coming back in this second half, this is the most important moment for either side. This is the moment for Foundation to try also and get us back the lead if they want to lay their hands on the trophy for the second time. And Holland, if they also want to lay their hands for the very first time on a trophy here at the Banyaka football field, they have to implement that in this second half.
Thank you very much, Bubakar Jalo. And we will engage Saliu shortly after seeing fantastic first half. Fantastic first half with fantastic 2 goals. Holland 1, Foundation 1. Who is going to sail with the giant trophy and what is expected to be handed as the winner remains to be seen. But already both sides are anxiously waiting to see who is going to walk away with the giant trophy. Probably the first substitution is going to come in the path of Holland Football Club, who any moment from now, Holland Football Club, who any moment from now might have the chance of introducing the first leg. And of course, Bubakar Koli will be the fourth player to be injected, probably a double substitution. Already we have 2 players being lined up for substitution for Holland Football Club. Earlier on led by a goal to nil before being pegged by Aliou K. Baji's penalty to bring parity into the contest, and Samba Juara is another player being lined up alongside Babukar Koli. The 2 players any moment from now could be introduced by head coach Yusufa Kamara, who is ably and reliably assisted by Seni Y Kamara, Sekou Omar Kamara and Salifu Koli on the technical dugout for Foundation Football Club. Both ends working very hard in getting the second, and we believe a second goal might of course change the entire dynamics. Probably earlier on we thought it was going to be just a substitution, a double substitution, and now it's going to be a triple substitution for Holland Football Club. Saliu, triple substitution await for Holland Football Club as they look towards blustering either the midfield or attack in time to search for the second goal as far as this final is concerned. Proudly unofficially concluded by Mansa and Sumareh.
Well, that was a community meeting from that, the head coach and others as well. And they already finalized, we have to go with 3. And because they have spotted something that they need to work on. We haven't seen the best from Holland in this final, Pafati. Yes, they scored that goal, they scored first, but we haven't seen the best from them. I believe the dominant side has been, of course, Foundation. And if they are to continue those again, they need experienced players. And these players who are about to be introduced in this final, I believe they have to change doubters as well. Humble Vicente will tell you, best players always come from the bench. And now they have to turn from zero to heroes if they are to, of course, go on to win this trophy. It is a big mountain to climb, but there is always possible.
Could this be a moment into the gloves of the shortstop?
Yeah, the first touch was very bad. That could have been goal number 2 for Holland. But, you know, he was in a haste. That is Sang. A very experienced player at the highest order. Sang. Fully called Torres.
Sang with the glorious opportunity. Triple substitution. Line up by Holland Football Club. They will introduce Babukar Koli. And we'll also have the chance of introducing Samba Juara and Ismaila Sonko, who was part of the losing side at the Boxbar Mini Stadium yesterday in Brikama. Had a fantastic game for Disa Youth, but unfortunately could not guide his side to the glory of the West Coast Region 3rd Division final after losing to Jam City narrowly at the Boxbar Mini Stadium. Ismaila Sonko will have some minutes in the second half alongside Babukar Koli and Samba Juara. Triple substitution as the side continues to bluster the midfield, and of course some attacking options against a Foundation side who are also probably hoping to get some fresh legs as far as the second half is concerned. It has been a nail-biting contest in the first half, and already into the second half, the game is poisedly contested. Triple substitution. Already Babukar Koli introduced. Samba Juara and Ismaila Sonko awaits on the sideline, and already Sambu is already off. With of course a glorious opportunity that Samba or Sang should have put that game beyond the reach of the shortstopper, but unfortunately he failed to do so. Ismaila Sonko introduced alongside Samba Juara, and earlier on Babukar Koli has also been introduced. Triple substitution effected by head coach Yusufa Kamara, ably and reliably assisted by Seni Y Kamara, whilst on the other dugout we have Sekou Omar Kamara on the dugout, assisted by Salifu Koli. And into this contest, Foundation started this contest with Lamin Kamara in goal, and still Lamin Kamara currently in goal. Is going to be a chase, and the shortstopper Kamara leaving his area to head that ball, and danger still not averted as Holland picks possession once again. They will now rely on who? Trying to unlock the solid defense into the solid gloves of the goalkeeper. It has been an end-to-end contest between Holland and Foundation. A goal might prove decisive here, might prove decisive as far as the second period is concerned, and of course a goal in the second half might totally change the dynamics as far as this game is concerned. And the flag of the assistant referee has already gone up against Holland Football Club, who just a few minutes into the second period have already introduced 3 fresh legs.
Well, last year you came here, Pafati, the winner, pocket home 25,000 or 20 so. But this time around it's going to be historic through the support of Mansa and the sport committee of Banyaka. The winner officially will go home with $35,000 and a giant trophy. And of course, with a set of jersey And the runner-up will also pocket home $30,000. And of course, with a set of jersey. And that is coming to you or provided by Mansa and of course the Banyaka Sport Committee under the chairmanship of Mr. Abbas Jata. Over to you, Pa.
Thank you very much, Saliu. And we are expecting to see a magnificent, magnificent second half. And already from the Banyaka football field, this is where we're having maximum and total concentration. It's now Holland on the attack, trying to unlock the solid defense. And the ball has been blocked to Trojan. And of course, Babukar seems to be a nuisance for the defenders of Foundation Football Club. And of course, one of the longest serving defenders for Foundation. And Babukar has been a workaholic in the heart of defense. And now Holland 1, Foundation 1. And Bubakar, we believe a goal coming from either side might prove decisive here. Probably the first side to score might say yes. Hence, I have a goal and 2-1 advantage. I can now have the chance to defend and defend all my life to have any chance of lifting this trophy from the Banyaka football field.
Yes, Mr. Fadi, and that is why they have already injected fresh legs in this second half. 3 players are already introduced, a triple substitution. Now they're trying to structure themselves firmly in order to look for a goal that will lead them in front. That is why they have already injected 3 players, now trying all possible means to look for a goal that will see them winning a trophy for the very first time.
Could this be a moment for Holland to win it for the first time? And could this be a moment for Foundation to add yet again another trophy in their respective trophy cabin? Sang with a delivery, ball being chested down. Fantastic defending coming from Holland. Dressed in a mixture of white and black shorts. Black shorts and a mixture of white and black socks. Playing from our right to left from our commentary cabin. Whilst Foundation playing from our left to right. Who is going to win? It remains to be seen. It has been a magnificent and lively contest from the Banyaka football field. Either a replay or post-match shootout, but that can only be confirmed by the sports committee or the organizing committee of Banyaka Sports Committee under the presidency of Abbas Jata. No winner, replay or post-match shootout.
You know, you just want to drag me into this. But I'm wearing the cap of the sport committee as well, Pa. Yeah, I believe the 2 teams have been communicated. And in the quest of course, developing the community that we want, the town that we want, I believe in an opportunity like this, we want to see Mansa again here. And we want to see, of course, another mouth-watering grand finale. If at all we cannot, of course, find a winner today or a winner is not decided today, we will solely go for a second one, and that is a second grand finale, so that we will prepare again for a better and a big football jamboree here at the Banyaka Town football field.
We would love to come here. We will definitely love to come here. But currently, it has been an entertaining first period. And already in the second period, the score is still 1-1. Holland 1, Foundation 1. And Holland broke the deadlock courtesy of Salum Kamara before Aliu K. Baji getting the equalizer from just 12 yards out. And to get the game to parity, it has been a magnificent game. Any moment from now, Foundation will introduce their first fresh leg as far as the game is concerned. Who is he going to be? We have to confirm and wait for the confirmation. Central referee Mustafa Jame, assisted by Babu Karli, Al-Hassan Tambedu, Lamin M. Jallo and Fatmata Marina as the match commissioner in the magnificent and lively game from the Banyaka football field. And it is also live on LSTV at the cabin. Parliament Fadi Saliu and Bubakar Jallo at the cabin. Of course, behind camera operations is Amindao. This is where it is coming to you live from. If you can't watch it from the Banyaka football field, click of the button. And this time is Ismaila Sonko. What a hit from the midfielder. Ismaila Sonko time to test the goalkeeper from that angle. That was nearly going to get the goalkeeper unaware. Fantastic and a great hit coming from the substitute Ismaila Sonko. And Ismaila lost it at the Brooks-1 Mini Stadium in Brikama yesterday. Probably he would love to win it at the Banyaka football field this afternoon, Salio.
Yeah, if Box Park could not do, probably the Banyaka football field will solely do for Ismaila. Playing 2 finals in the space of 2 days.
yesterday at the Boxman Mini Stadium against, of course, that is Jam City. I stand to be correct, yes, Jam City in the 3rd Division West Coast final. And coming from the bench, I understand, I understand why the coach put him on the bench, because he's played the final. And that matters a lot. And now Ismaila is here to amend things. But the committee will tell Ismaila, hold on, we want to amend things also for a replay.
Thank you very much, Saliu. And just to get the facts right, Ismaila was one of the eye-catching players for these youths yesterday against Jam City at the Boxbar Mini Stadium. Unfortunately, the Bruford-based club lost it against the Jam City side, and the player has been brought down at a promising angle, and now Foundation will have the chance, and the yellow card has been flashed by the central referee Mustafa Jame. And this is of course going to be a set piece at a promising angle, and Foundation will rely on a dead ball specialist. Who is going to be that dead ball specialist? We have to wait for the confirmation. Probably somebody might step up to get the second goal for Foundation, but Holland Football Club will still rely on their shortstopper Aliu Sonko. And Ali will solely erect a wall, walk on the wall, and probably walk towards deviating this. But already there is a player who has been assembled for substitution, and Foundation will introduce a fresh leg, Kalilu Singate. Kalilu 11 will be introduced and will replace Modlamin Sise. Modlamin Sise is coming off, and Kalilu is of course going to be introduced any moment from now.
I believe the person that is to be introduced or that is coming off is the one that is responsible with the set piece power. And that is why I saw Babu, of course, signaling the officials, like the team officials, to hold on. But then the substitution board is already up. Whether he was the chosen one or the set piece specialist, is going to watch this free kick off the field.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jallo. Earlier on, Bubakar Jallo. And of course, we are definitely enjoying the proceedings on and off the pitch. And already Kalilu has been introduced, 11 on his back for Foundation Football Club. And he has already been injected. Probably he might be one of those players to take this. But already there are 2 players or 3 players currently behind the ball for Foundation. Who is going to step up, and who is going to step up to deliver this set piece at a promising angle. His score is poisedly contested at the Banyaka football field, and Holland has already assembled a giant wall. The boys dressed in white and black colors. The final proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa and Sumareh. We are definitely enjoying this final on and off the pitch. If you should tell me it is entertaining on the pitch, I will tell you it is by far more entertaining off the pitch, because the supporters of Holland and Foundation are definitely at a different level. This is of course coming to you live from the Banyaka football field, where it's entertaining, or where entertaining is at its peak. Of course, kudos to the sports committee under the presidency of Abbas Jata. Currently, it's a delivery off target. That was of course a scare for Holland. And of course, Foundation must be disappointed after failing to hit the back post. Of course, in that set piece, Bubakar, that was definitely very close, but unfortunately, Foundation could not hit the goal post.
Yeah, that was a glorious opportunity for Foundation to take the lead to 2-1. But of course, that free kick blazes over the crossbar. And if they were able to convert that set piece, it could have been 2-0 or 2-1 Foundation. But of course, it is a wasted opportunity for Foundation as we speak. They have to, take their chances. Certain free kicks like this, if you have them, you have to make the best use of them. You have to make high while the sun shines, Mr. Fati.
Thank you very much, Bubakar. It is fascinating on and off the pitch, but already both sides are trying to unlock each other's defense, but equally both sides are trying to be as cautious as possible. Aliu Kebaji chesting that ball down, trying to unlock the solid defense. He was trying to test the goalkeeper from that angle, and that was of course going to be a howler from the goalkeeper if Aliu Kebaji was able to hit the target, Saliu Jallo. I think he was definitely getting the goalkeeper from that angle, and of course the goalkeeper has definitely left his position, and of course Aliu Baji was going to hit the goalkeeper unaware.
Yeah, because you're very right, because Aliu Baji saw Aliu Sonko from distance that is far from his goal post. An opportunity for Marena.
at the far end. But then coming back to your question, I believe, Baji was trying to penalize that is Sonko Aliu, but that strike wasn't fruitful and he put futile there. It is still 1-1, and we have seen an end-to-end counter, both sides picking from where they left it in the first half. So the substitutions are really working well for Holland for now, but the breakthrough is still pending.
Yet again, a chance for both sides to win it in regulation. Either push my shootout or a replay to decide this final. From the Banyaka football field, it has been a magnificent and lively contest on and off the pitch, coming from the supporters and of course the players from the Banyaka football field between Holland and Foundation. It is the tournament which is proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa and Sumareh, who is already with us at the Banyaka football field with his high-powered delegation. Special thanks to Mansa and Sumareh with his delegation, and special thanks to all those currently monitoring situation live on LSTV1 at the cabin for Lamin Fati, Saliu and Bubakar Jallo at the cabin, whilst Amin Dao is serving us or behind the camera operator. And now the chance for Foundation, trying to unlock the solid defense. The latest anthem lays the ball forward, and the flag of the assistant referee has already gone up for a throw-in. Both sides are trying to be as cautious as possible. If they don't score the second, they wouldn't love to concede. Who is going to score the second goal now remains to be seen. And the goalkeeper arriving just in time to gather that ball with ease. Aliu Sonko, the shot stopper for Holland Football Club, and in the opposite goal post is Lamin Kamara. It's now going to be an attack. This time Ismaila Sonko. Could this be a moment? Ismaila! What a chance for Ismaila Sonko to put that goal beyond the reach of the shot stopper. But Foundation survive, and of course Holland disappointed Sali once again.
My question is, why should Ismaila baby knife that ball in that promising position? You shouldn't baby knife that ball. Just hit it anyhow. Isa Chukuno, Isa Timpano. Anyhow, let the ball hit the back of the net. Jalojija is what matters. But then Ismaila was just trying to pin the goalkeeper. But that is a stopper, that is Mario with experience as well. He waited for Ismaila to decide, and then he saw his capabilities.
Lamin Kamara to the rescue of Foundation. Lamin Kamara was just there in time, just in time to block that ball decently. And Ismaila Sonko wouldn't believe that. He believed that that should have been at the bottom corner or at the back of the net here at the Banyaka football field. And of course, Berewuleng, of course, confirmed champions of the 2026 GFF Women's Division 1 after getting the better of their opponents in their final game. Equally TMT over Yakar, and of course TMT also got the better of Police in the final game. And of course Berewuleng crown champions TMT also finished second. Already there is a player currently down injured for Foundation, and Holland anxiously waiting for the second. And Bubakar, this game could still go either ways, either to Holland or Foundation. But of course we have been seeing chances baking coming from Holland and of course Foundation. But of course we believe the side that was able to decide on their chances might have the chance of clinching this trophy, but it wouldn't be an easy task, as Holland and Foundation going toe to toe, shoulder to shoulder in clinching this trophy, which is of course proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa and Sumareh.
Indeed, Mr. Fati, both sides are crafting several chances in front of goal. Look at that chance from Ismaila Sonko. When he got that chance, that could have been, of course, 2-1 Holland. But of course, the goalkeeper was not also in a haste. He examined Ismaila, he scrutinized Ismaila. That's why when he hit the ball, he saved the ball with ease. But then this is another opportunity for Foundation to take the lead. And of course, the ball is already floated to the area, but another wasted opportunity. Both sides have to take their chances if they want to lay their hands on a trophy, as time is running out of them.
Thank you very much, Bubakar Jallo. Earlier on, Saliu from the Banyaka football field, and Lamin Kamara seems to be struggling. And the goalkeeper is already down, and probably he will need support from the medical team The shortstopper Lamin Kamara is currently down, and in the opposite goal post is Aliu Sonko. And it is poisely contested. The score is already 1-1 from the Banyaka football field. Probably post-match shootout or a replay to decide it, but that can only be confirmed by the organizing committee of Banyaka Sports Committee under the presidency of Mr. Abbas Kamara, or Abbas Jata, I beg your pardon. And of course, Abbas Jata is the president who succeeded Kemo Jawara, who of course finished two respective terms as president of Banyaka Sports Committee. Of course, having the support of Omar Mane, Mfali Sonko, Lamin Toure, Amfal Soli, Musa Baji, Saliu and Bubakar Jallo, Seku Jata, Yasin Sonko, Kemo Jata, or Kemo Jawara rather, Maimuna Jata, Aliu Kamara, and Ibrahima Kamara, completing the magnificent set of committee members serving or steering the wheels of football administration is in Banyaka. And we are definitely loving the atmosphere and loving the atmosphere from the Banyaka football field. It is already entertaining on and off the pitch. The supporters at the Banyaka football field are of course up to another level. And of course the supporters on the far end are gingering their boys to glory. And of course the shot stopper has been supported by the medical team, Lamin Kamara, and Lamin is still receiving attention. Already there is a stretcher. There seems to be a discussion between the central referee Mustafa Jame and the central and of course the shot stopper Lamin Kamara, who has initially received medical attention. The stretcher being brought forward, but Lamin, and we believe the goalkeeper is still struggling, and Lamin is still struggling, but still on the pitch, and his side is still on a 1-1 scoreline at the Banyaka football field, entertaining already and lively. And Bubakar, this game might get to any destination, probably a post-match shootout to decide it, or a replay, but probably the committee might decide to say yes, we are going in for a replay without a winner. But if there is a goal, it's definitely going to settle the dust as far as the game is concerned. But probably if the objective of the committee is to get the this final to a replay, they wouldn't want to see the second goal here. They would definitely love to see this game ending in a 1-1 and in a nail-biting contest between Foundation and Holland Football Club.
Yeah, Fatih, they wouldn't love to see a goal coming from either side. But of course, it remains to be seen whether Holland or Foundation will spoil the party for the sport committee. You look at the, of course, turnout here at the football field. The field is absolutely full to capacity, or it is nearly full to capacity. This is Combo South. Whenever there is football, they respond massively, gigantically. And of course, we have seen the goalkeeper struggling. He was not in a good state, but he's now back on his feet, and it seems like he'll be able to continue the game for, of course, his side. But of course, a massive turnout here at the Banyaka football field. The sport committee will love to go on for a replay, but of course, these two sides are also here for business tonight, Mr. Fatih.
They are here for business, and Babukar Koli is coming off, one of the most experienced players. And I could remember Babukar playing for Banyaka in the Combo South District tournament, and he has been one of the older faces as far as football in Banyaka is concerned. And Foundation has also introduced another fresh leg, Osman Jallo. And of course, he was one time a player for White Store, and now playing for Foundation, and he is now going to marshal the central defense for Foundation in this final contest of this final, proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa and Sumareh. And Mansa is already with us at the Banyaka football field with his 5 high-powered delegation from the Banyaka football field, and it is live on LSTV1 at the cabin. Parliament Fatih, Saliu and Bubakar Jallo, and of course Amin Dow behind camera operations for LSTV1. From the Banyaka football field, the score is 1-1. Holland 1, Foundation 1, and Salum Kamara broke the deadlock in the first period to give the advantage to Holland before Aliu Baji responding for the boys dressed in their colorful orange and black shirts, black shorts, and a mixture of black and white socks. Currently playing from our left to right, whilst Holland kicks from our right to left. In case you're just joining us, the score is poisely an attack here. And now in their own half, it is now the chance for Holland to use the moment for a breakthrough. And Holland will definitely love to get the second goal, whilst Foundation will equally get that done. Could this be a moment for both sides to clean this trophy for the very first time? The tournament, which is proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa A.N. Sumareh, and Sumareh Mansa with his powerful delegation, and of course Mansa, he has been my guy, Salu. Interestingly, when I was part and parcel of in politics, I used to have a lot of programs with Mansa, so he's not a new face to me. So Mansa, great to meet you once again, and of course on a different field, from a political point to a sporting perspective now. But already it has been a lively and entertaining one, and of course the special thanks goes out to Mansa Sumareh for coming to the aid of the people of Banyaka. Aliu Kebache blasted that ball over the crossbar. Bubakar, that was another glorious opportunity, and this time to Foundation, but unfortunately the player who got the equalizer for Foundation this time blasted the ball over the crossbar.
Of course, blasted the ball over the crossbar. That could have been 2-1 Foundation, but it's another wasted opportunity. And you look at the clock, it's already 69 minutes played according to my clock, and they still have chances that they have crafted in front of goal. They should just take their chances if they want to lay their hands on a trophy. That is Foundation for the second time in this year's tournament. They won the tournament sometime back in the days. I could not remember that, but of course, if they want to make it for the second time, they have to take their chances. We have seen several chances that have been wasted here, and the clock is not on their side. And of course, Holland could also do the same thing if they want to lay their hands on a trophy, as the time is running out.
Time is confidently running out for both Holland and Foundation. Who is going to clinch this trophy remains to be seen. But it has been a magnificent turnout from the Banyaka football field. And of course, special thanks to Banyaka Sports Committee under the presidency of Abbas Jatta. And of course, Abbas and his entire team. We have to say kudos to Abbas and the team. Of course, this is not the very first time coming to the Banyaka football field. We've been coming here. And of course, most of their finals are mostly peaceful finals. We can't confirm, or we can't get to any of the finals where finals are mostly marred with chaotic scenes. But of course, this is Combo South for you. This is Banyaka for you, and this is Banyaka football field for you. And it is the 2026 edition of this football tournament that is of course proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa A.N. Sumareh, and the final between Holland and Foundation. And the score is poisely keen. And of course, Foundation won rather. Holland won. Earlier on, calling in for a penalty, but the central referee, is that a penalty? Is that a penalty? Let's just wait and see. And the central referee has already pointed for a penalty. The central referee never hesitated, and now Holland will have the chance. It's a penalty and a handball as judged by the central referee. Salu, this could be a moment, and it could be a moment for Holland to lay their hand on the trophy, but it could be a moment for the sports committee to say, oh, our dream of getting this game to a replay is on the verge of being shattered. But already Holland will have a player to deliver this.
Well, the look on the players' faces of Foundation, that can tell you clearly that is a penalty, because they subscribe to that decision from the central referee, and that was a very easy call from the central referee, and none of the players of Foundation, rushed to the referee complaining. But now, the only one that can save the organizing, the sport committee, is the Sostoba Foundation. That is Lamina stands to be corrected. It's against the number 7. It's over to you, Pa.
Thank you very much, Saliu Jalo. And now, what a save! Another fantastic save! And of course, now Holland will only blame themselves if they hold on to this 1-1 scoreline, Saliu.
There is a celebration behind us. The committee is celebrating.
Yeah, we are celebrating.
But what a save from the shot stopper. I saw Usman Taro, the newly introduced defender, complaining to the number 11 when that handball was given. The number 11 was already giving up. Usman told him, it's far from over. Come back and be part of the defense line. The goalkeeper saved that is foundation, but he also saved the player in question that handled that ball inside the penalty box. He also saved the organizing committee for the time being.
What a game! What a game and contest from the Banyaka football field. Holland can't just believe this. Holland had the glorious opportunity to put this game to bed and substitute the Jere Kamara. Jere Jete Rada step up, and Jere was denied by the shot stopper Lamin Kamara, and Lamin Kamara saved, and of course saving his team. And now, yes now, and yes now, it is still 1-1. Bubakar, this game isn't yet over, as we still can have a goal, but if there is no other goal, this game might get to a replay.
Yeah, it is never over until it is all over. What a save we have seen from the goalkeeper of Foundation, denying Jere from that spot, from the penalty spot. That could have been a wonderful opportunity for Holland to take the lead to 2-1. But of course, they are just been denied. They have that great opportunity to take the lead from the penalty spot. But the goalkeeper, who was going through a Mokan Maya, was able to save his team. And now it is 1-1. Time is running out. Already 75 minutes played according to our clock, and we are yet to see a goal that will be celebrated by either teams if they want to clean the trophy sponsored by Mansa and Sumareh, Mr. Fati.
Time, and special thanks to the security officials, and of course Banyaka. We have to be proud of this community. Of course, they have been our reliable partners when it comes to Combo South District Football Tournament, and they've been providing us security. And now once again, Holland will drive forward, and Foundation picks possession now. And of course, the goalkeeper Lamin Kamara will of course be the hero if this game went on to end in 1-1. But already the score is still 1-1 from the Banyaka football field in a lively and nail-biting contest between Holland and Foundation. Both sides getting at least a goal, but still working towards getting the second. Marina around the edge of the 18, delivery into the gloves of the shot stopper. That was of course a scare, but the goalkeeper was just equal to that as time runs out for both sides. It is still 1-1 from the Banyaka football field in an entertaining showdown in the final, which is of course proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa and Sumareh. And now Foundation trying to unlock the defense. Holland, the player has been brought down, of course calling in for a foul. The central referee has already given that. Mustafa Jame is the central referee, having the assistance of Babu Karli, Alasan Tambedu, Lamin M. Jallo and Fatmata Marina serving as the match commissioner in this lively and entertaining showdown. We are definitely enjoying the moment and loving every bit and piece of this final. Proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa Sumareh. Special thanks to the security apparatus. Special thanks to every spectator. Special thanks to every supporter behind Holland and Foundation. And special thanks to all those currently monitoring this game live on LSTV. It has been a magnificent. This time Sonko! And into the bottom corner! And what a hit from Ismaila Sonko and Super Sub Ismaila Sonko. Spoiled this for Foundation Football Club, and of course Holland will go all the way. Could this be a moment for Holland to lay their hand for the very first time on the trophy? And Saliu, they are edging closer and closer, and of course a celebration for Holland. But of course another a moment for the sports committee, who wouldn't be happy with this scoreline, as Ismaila Sonko spoiled the show for the sports committee. At some point they were hoping for a replay, but Ismaila Sonko, who had the glorious opportunity from close range, now spoiled the show for both the committee and Foundation.
Well, I told you, Pafati, if Boxbar could not do for Ismail, probably the Banyaka football field will solely too. Ali only had an opportunity, he squandered that. That was a giveaway. Take it. On a day like this, we give charity to to the needy. And Ismaila then amended that. And I told you earlier on, if there is a chance that is given to Ismaila, he will surely amend that. Remember, he greeted you before coming in, and that was like, I am going to score. And Ismaila now is on the verge of writing history as well. But I told you, the best players always come from the bench. Changing doubters into believers, becoming or turning from zero to a hero is what Ismaila did just now. He had done the number 8 jersey, and his name will be written in the history books of Holland if they are to go on to win this. And now, the sport committee will be reciting the last verses of the Quran for an equalizer. They will be supporting from distance now.
Silence at the court. Silence and silence at the court. And of course, this silence is proudly and officially sponsored by Ismaila Sonko. Ismaila Sonko hit the goal post and getting the second goal for Holland. And of course, Abubakar Jallo. This is, of course, a moment of celebration coming from the supporters of Holland as we move into the closing stages of this contest. And now Foundation will just need a miraculous goal to overturn this tie here.
What a brilliant performance from Ismaila Sonko, who just came off the bench, and it's now 6 minutes of added time in this final. He just came off the bench now with a late drama for Holland. Imagine you left from nowhere. Yesterday he lost to Jam City at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Today he left all the way from Brikama to Banyaka, now going on to win a victory for Holland for the very first time with the trophy. And of course, Foundation were sleepwalking to victory. And now when Ismaila Sonko was substitute and he was introduced in the second half, he has to wake them up and tell them that I am around. And if I am around, Holland can stamp their authority in Banyaka sport, Mr. Fatih. And now their fans are on top of their voice as they always a victory for their team for the very first time.
6 minutes added on. 6 solid minutes added on. And under 6 minutes for Holland to hold on. Under 6 minutes of additional time for Foundation to get a miraculous second goal here. Could this be a moment for Holland once again? A moment for Holland now. This time is a low drive. And of course, if they are able to hold on, Ismaila Sonko will undoubtedly be their hero. And now Marina laying that ball forward for Foundation. And now Foundation will possibly use the moment. And already the central referee has already given the advantage to Foundation after the player has been brought down on the far end. Time running out. And now running out for Foundation instead. Time running out for Foundation. They conceded earlier on when Salum Kamara broke the deadlock just from close range. Aliu Kebaje step up just from 12 yards out to get the equalizer. At some point in the second period, Holland got the glorious opportunity to get the second goal, but of course the shortstopper Lamin Kamara denied the player from 12 yards out. And the hero, yes, the super sub and the hero for Holland Football Club, Ismaila Sonko, fantastically got the second to get Holland on the driving seat. Yes, back on the driving seat. And currently Holland lead by 2-1 against Foundation at the Banyaka football field. And we are definitely loving every bit and piece of this final. But of course, this might be a sad moment for the sports committee as their anticipation is to get this game to a replay. But already it is coming to you live from the Banyaka football field in a magnificent turnout in the final, proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa and Sumareh. And of course, the final between Holland and Foundation Football Club, and the final is also coming to you live from the Banyaka football field, live on LSTV1 at the cabin. Parlamin Fatih, Saliwan Bubakar Jallo, Amin Dow behind camera operations. Could this be another moment? And the shortstopper alert enough to clear that ball massively. Who is currently down? And time is definitely not on their side. The goalkeeper wouldn't want to spend any time on the ground, because the moment he spent time on the ground, that is definitely going to go against him. And the goalkeeper is alert enough that they don't have the time. Time is definitely working out for them. And now Bubakar, any moment, yes, we said any moment, the central referee might end the proceedings, as earlier on we have seen 6 minutes of additional time, and under 6 minutes of additional time for Holland Football Club to hold on and to be crowned champion for the very first time. The tournament proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa and Sumareh, whilst Foundation will definitely walk away with the consolation prize if they are not able to secure that. And now the chance, but the goalkeeper alert enough to get that ball. Bukar, back to you.
Of course, Holland with that magnificent opportunity to lay their hands for the first time to celebrate a trophy that is sponsored by Mansa and Sumareh in the history of Banyaka sport, and that is absolutely done by Ismaila Sonko, who just came off the bench and turned doubters into believers, now winning the trophy for Holland for the 41st time, as time is not on the side of Foundation. Mr. Fadi, we could see that the fans of Foundation are a bit quiet as the game proceeds, but of course now you could see the fans of Holland are now jubilating in a jubilant mode because they know that now their team might have that almighty opportunity to lay their hands on a trophy for the 41st time over a side that is very formidable, that lifted a trophy back in the days.
Thank you very much, Abubakar Jallo. From the Banyaka football field, it has been a colorful final. And this final will be in the history books of every individual connected to Banyaka and its satellite communities. Holland edging closer. Could this be a moment for the team to lay their hand on the trophy for the very first time? Head coach Yusufa Kamara is getting closer. His assistant Seni Y Kamara is edging closer. And Holland getting closer and closer. And of course, Holland is on the verge of clinching the trophy for the very first time under the noses of a side that won the league and the knockout on the same season, or in the same season, which is of course Foundation. And Foundation will definitely be disappointed if they are to lose this final. Now the chance once again. The team captain stride forward and the goalkeeper alert enough to get that ball decently. And the goalkeeper has already left his position, and time definitely not on their side. Aluke Bache. Time to get that ball down. Now Foundation handing possession to Holland once again. Holland will drive forward. Could this be a moment to get the third goal here? Control decently. An opportunity for Holland. Massive delivery. And over the crossbar. And could that be a moment? And the central referee is still urging them to get him the ball. Time running out. And of course the supporters of Holland are believing. They continue to believe that the trophy is now heading home. They are believing that the trophy is definitely heading home. After that fantastic second goal coming from Ismaila Sonko. And Ismaila lost it at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, and there we go. And celebrations in style coming from Holland Football Club. And Holland are of course the champions and champions of the land in a trophy proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa and Sumareh and Bubakar. This is going to be celebrations all night long, victory all night long, and Ismaila Sonko will of course and undoubtedly be the hero for Holland Football Club, clinching or winning the league for the very first time in the history of football in Banyaka.
Of course, Holland, their first ever trophy in Banyaka, sponsored by Mansa and Sumareh, and the protagonist for Holland is Ismaila Sonko, who has to leave box bar yesterday for Banyaka, and now he has already given Holland their first ever trophy in the history of Banyaka, a trophy that is sponsored by Mansa and Sumareh. And now Holland, their fans and the entire management of Holland, their hearts will be filled with overwhelming joy that tonight they will celebrate a trophy that is sponsored by Mansa and Sumareh. You could see the celebration. Even the inhabitants of Holland has to invade the pitch and celebrate their side for this wonderful performance, for this wonderful trophy that is right before their eyes, Mr. Fati. Congratulations to Holland for the very first time, and hard luck to Foundation.
Congratulations, Holland and Hard Luck Foundation. And this is the Banyaka football field for you. This is football, and football at its best in Banyaka. And of course, we are definitely appreciative to the entire population of Banyaka, most especially to the sports committee, who are currently steering the wheels of football administration in this community, under the leadership or stewardship of Mr. Abbas Jata. And thank you very much to Abbas and his entire team. And no wonder Abbas is also an executive member of Kombo South District Football Committee. Of course, no wonder the people of Banyaka suggested Abbas Jata to the people of Kombo South to serve in that very interesting sports committee or football committee. And thank you very much to Abbas and his entire team for organizing not only football in the senior cadre, but also in the junior category. as far as junior and senior football tournaments are concerned. But not only the league football tournaments, they are also organizing the knockout competitions. We were here in the knockout final in the male category or in the senior category. And of course, once again back at the Banyaka football field for the league final, which is proudly and officially bankrolled by Mansa A.N. Sumareh. And we have to give that very big tab or massive tap on the shoulder of Mansa A.N. Sumareh and whosoever is connected to that. And we have to say, Mansa, thank you very much. Mansa Abaraka Bake. And of course, Sali will always tell you in Jola, Mansa Emite Kati. Thank you very much for coming to the aid of the people of Banyaka. And Bubakar, this is of course a worthy gesture coming from Mansa Sumareh, coming to the support of the people of Banyaka, not only giving them the cash prizes and the runners-up prizes, but also the winner and the runner-up will also walk away with a set of jersey. And you can also see, of course, medals placed beautifully. And of course, probably, this is of course the first time coming to the aid of the people of Banyaka, but probably it's going to be one of the many which Mansa Sumareh will definitely come to the aid of the people of Banyaka.
Indeed, Mr. Fati, and that reflects the passion, the ambition that Mansa A.N. Sumareh has for sport, knowing that, of course, Holland will be decorated for the 44th time with medals, a giant trophy that is right before their eyes. You could see now the fans of Holland taking footages and pictures of that mega trophy. Now we extend our heartfelt appreciation and gratitude to Mansa A.N. Sumareh for, of course, fostering community football in this community, for, of course, giving support for this generous, support from Mansa A.N. Sumareh. We thank you so very much in provision for, of course, promoting grassroots football in this community for the very first time coming to the aid of Banyaka sport. We thank him so much. And now the two finalists, the champions Holland and Foundation, you are asked to come forward for the presentation, please. Holland and Foundation, you can now come forward for the presentation. Wonderful performance from Holland, their first ever trophy in their trophy cabin, sponsored by Mansa A.N. Sumareh. Tonight, they will be decorated for the very first time. And bye-bye from me, it has been. Before that, we call on the teams, that is Foundation, the runners-up, and the champions Holland. Please, you actually come forward for the presentation. There will be massive celebration tonight, a celebration long over the night for Holland. Now you could hear the sound of the drums echoing across every section of this football pitch. And also the Banyaka Vision FA mascots are also enjoying the ambience provided by the fans of Holland and Foundation. Holland will now celebrate long over the night with their first ever trophy, sponsored by Mansa A.N. Sumareh. Could see the banner bearing Mansa A.N. Sumareh sponsored league final. And the champions are Holland. They will pocket home a whooping amount of $35,000, while runners-up Foundation will go home with a cash prize of $30,000 with medals. Absolutely great and beautiful flipper canorios in the history of Banyaka sport. Holland opened the scoring in the first half through Salem Kamara, and of course all of a sudden Foundation restored parity, and in the second half Foundation denied Holland again. Holland had an almighty opportunity to, of course, take the lead by 2-1, but of course they were denied by the custodian of Foundation. But Ismaila Sonko, who just came off the bench for Holland, yesterday he lost the third division final to Jam City. He played for Visayus, and now in Banyaka he has to celebrate a trophy for Holland for the very first time. And now hand over the baton to Salu Jalo for the time being. running away from the mic. But as things stand, as I alluded earlier on, the esteemed elders of this community, we thank you so very much for showing up. We thank you in provision for occasion this August gathering. It is indeed beautiful. This is what we love to see, and this is what we love to talk about. Drums echoing across every section of the Banyaka football field. And now Holland will be decorated for the very first time in style as they celebrate a victory over Foundation after defeating Foundation by 2-1, courtesy of Ismail Sonko, the protagonist for Holland, who left for Box Bar yesterday. He lost to Jam City in the 3rd division. Tonight, he's here for Holland, and of course, he's a hero in Banyaka. And DJ, you could give a music celebration to the winners prior to the presentation of the awards.
So you call on Ablai Bad. Alma invite.
Ablai what? And Mr. Ablai Baji, you are asked to come and hand over the certificate of appreciation to the referees. Mr. Ablai Baji, you are asked to come and hand over a certificate of appreciation to the referees of this final. Well officiated by the panel of referees that we have here today.
Appreciation for this individual. So Babu John of Jabang Sports Committee will hand over this certificate. You understand? So these are the people who have been helping the committee so far. You understand? So well, let's go ahead, man.
And Babu John of Jabang Sports Committee, they also called to come and hand over this certificate of appreciation to some of the faithfuls of this community who have been giving support to the sport committee since the inception of the tournament up to the final touches today. That is Mr. Babu John of the Jabang Committee. You are asked to come and hand over this certificate to inhabitants of this community who have been rendering their service to the Banyaka Sport Committee since the inception of the tournament until today.
Hold on.
Yes, Mr. Ablai Paji will hand over the certificates of appreciation to Alassane Tambedu. Alassane Tambedu, Mr. Paji.
Mike, be careful. This one.
That is Alassane Paji handing over a certificate to Alassane Tambedu, part of the referees that officiated this tournament. We thank them so much in provision. Mustafa Jame. Mustafa Jame is also part of the referees that officiated this tournament. Now, Paji will hand over this certificate to Jame for officiating this tournament from the get-go up to date. Next on the line is Babukar Le. Babukar Lee. Babukar Lee is also part of the referees that officiated this tournament from the inception up to date. And the next one would be Lamin M. Jala. Lamin M. Jala. And Ablai Baji will hand over the certificate to Lamin M. Jala. Ablai Baji will hand over the certificate to Lamin M. Jalo, also part of the referees that officiated this mouth-watering final between Foundation and Holland. That is a good picture there with the sponsor of the tournament, and you could see the banner bearing the name Mansa and Sumareh, sponsored Banyaka League Final. These are the referees, the panel of referees that are giving awards for officiating this tournament. Now they are taking a group picture with the sponsor of the tournament, together with the match commissioner, Fatumata Marena. Babu John of Jabang Sport Committee, you are asked to come and hand over these certificates. Mr. Seni Kamara, Banyaka Sport Committee. The Alcalo of this community, Mr. Seni Kamara, will also receive a certificate of appreciation, and also the Sofalit Women Association for giving support to the Banyaka Sport Committee since the inception of the tournament up to date. The Sofalit Women Association will also receive a certificate of appreciation Mr. Khalifa Baji will also receive a certificate of appreciation. He's the team manager of Banyaka Vision FA. He also contributes immensely towards the growth of the Banyaka Sport Committee and also rendering service to Banyaka Vision FA as the team manager. A round of applause for Mr. Khalifa. And the next is Ali Sanya. Will also receive a certificate of appreciation. That is Ali Sanya. Also donated 2 balls to the Banyaka Sport Committee.
It was 1 and then second 2.
He donated 3 balls to the Banyaka Sport Committee. He will also receive a certificate of appreciation. And he also call on the Banyaka Red Cross Link for rendering their service, giving us medical assistance since the inception of the tournament. Usman, the coordinator of the Banyaka Red Cross Link, you are asked to come and receive this certificate on behalf of your entire team, that is the Red Cross Link. And Mr. Lamin Kamara, the Village Development Committee Chairman, will also receive a certificate of appreciation.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. The most hardworking sport committee members.
And now Mr. Lamin Kamara will hand over certificate to most hardworking executive members of Banyaka Sport Committee. And Amfal Soli will receive a certificate of appreciation. Amfal Soli, the Assistant Secretary. Sekou Jata is also part of the Banyaka Student Sport Development Committee members. Sekou Jata. Mr. Kamara will still hand over certificate to Sekou Kamara. And Fatmata Marena will serve as the match commissioner of this final between Foundation and Holland. Will also receive a certificate of appreciation. Next is Lamin Toure, the secretary of the Banyaka Sport Committee. Ibrahim Kamara next. These are the members of the Banyaka Sport Committee. Mr. Lamin will now hand over another certificate to Ibrahim Kamara. And next is Aliu Kamara, who is taking pictures and footages as far as this conclusion is concerned. He's also part of West Coast and Kumbasar referees. And Omar Mane will also receive a certificate of appreciation.
Dangawa Umar Tungune.
And this Omar Mane. Musa Baji will also receive a certificate of appreciation. And next is Yusufa Sonko. Yusufa Sonko, please. Yusufa Sonko will also receive a certificate of appreciation. And we thank you so very much, Mr. Lamin Kamara, for handing over certificates to the Banyaka Sport Committee members. And Suleiman Sanyang of the Tanya Sport Committee, he also asked to come and hand over certificates. Man of the Match award, Ismaila Sonko of Holland, will receive a certificate of appreciation from Suleiman of the Tanya Sport Committee. Ismaila Sonko came off the bench and scored the winning goal for Holland as they celebrate their first ever trophy tonight. A round of applause for Ismaila. He lost the final yesterday to Jam City. He has to leave for Brikama and come to Banyaka to the aid of Holland. That is Ismaila Sonko, dons the number 8 for Holland. He came in the second half and scored the winning goal for Holland. And now they will lay their hands on a trophy for the very first time. The best goalkeeper of the tournament is Aliou Sonko of Holland. And he also received a trophy for that motor, an accolade on behalf of Mansa and Sumareh. That is Aliou Sonko, the best shot stopper for Holland. He will receive an accolade on behalf of Mansa and Sumareh, the sponsor of the league final. The best player of the tournament goes to Modulamin Sonko of Holland. Modulamin Sonko is also a defender of the San Francisco team, one of the most reliable defenders of Coach Mellish, and also part of Banyaka Vision FA progeny. And he is currently scouted by TMT Football Academy. That is Modulamin Sonko. A round of applause for Modulamin Sonko. He is currently scouted by TMT Football Club, a first division side. And the leading goal scorer, Abdulatif Sane of Ashalem. Abdulatif Sane, wherever you are, you have to come and receive this certificate of appreciation for the leading goal scorer of Ashalem, that is Latif of Ashalem. They also lifted the knockout trophy after defeating one infantry battalion by a goal to nil in the knockout final. And Latif is the top goal scorer of the tournament. We thank you so much in provision.
Well, quickly, thank you very much, Bubakar. A quick one. Thank you very much, Mr. Sane Osanyarada from the Sport Committee. A quick one, ladies and gentlemen. The most outstanding security of the, of course, Banyaka tournament throughout goes to Ibrahim Kamara. Where's Ibrahim Kamara? The security. Oh boy, he's a Jola. Oh boy. Oh boy, he's a Jola. Jikaran dijilat panjijuk. Let me take it Anufano. That is Kamara. We cross paths at the capital city, Banjul. Thank you very much, Kamara. Kamara Ile. But it's okay. I know he's going to change his profile today. A serviceman handing over an award to a serviceman. Thank you. Ali, you have to obey orders. Thank you. Now we call on Mr. Chairman Abbas Jetta to hand over these two certificates of appreciation to two council of elders who walk across this country, drive late night, promoting community football from Banjul to Libana. We call him Mr. Musanjai. I call him the only to the big man. Chairman, Musanjai is always with, of course, Mr. Mansa and Sumareh. Musa is everywhere, and Musa is in fact in my global sports forums. He showed me the Global Sport Forum last time and Mandinaba, right? It was like Bijele. Thank you very much. And this is, of course, featured live on LSTV1. Chairman, just hold on. Now to the big man, Mansa and Sumareh. From, of course, Basse, Farafenye, Mandina Ba, of course, Banjulunding, and many across this country. More than 60-something certificates this year he have accumulated. He have a special silent cabinet for that certificate. Mansa and Sumareh, the first man to support Banyaka fully or sponsored Banyaka League final. And Mansa is married with community football. 2 sets of jerseys for the finalists. An award for the best player of the tourney. An award for the best showstopper. Thank you, Mansa. Barkabake. Well, Mansa told me, Sally, I'm going to support Banyaka fully. And he did that fully. Thank you, Mansa. Timpa. Well, quickly, let's call on the Alcalo, Mr. Seni Kamara. Can we call on Holland to give a guard of honor for foundation, please? Holland, if you don't know guard of honor, I will tell you Jangal and Gembay. Some Paul, you know that better than I do.
People identify the jersey they should go. Can you identify?
A quick one. Please, darkness is creeping. Foundation, please. Can you kindly find yourself behind there and they give a guard of honor quickly, please. Babu and the team. Torres. El Nino, please, can you make a guard of honor here at the center, please? A guard of honor. Foundation. Please go behind. Holland. Oh my goodness. Please, time is against us, and this is online, on TV. Darkness is creeping, please.
They have to be lectured how to do a guard of honor. Champions Holland, despite their championship, they still have to be lectured how to give a guard of honor to foundation. Runner-up. A round of applause for foundation. They lost it to Holland by 2 goals to 1. Despite finding an equalizer in the first half, they are not able to lay their hands on a mega trophy sponsored by Mansa and Sumareh. And now, as runners-up, they will receive a cash prize of $30,000 with medals. Presentation is live on LSTV1, both Facebook and YouTube. And players of foundation are now receiving medals for their wondrous performance throughout the tournament. Of course, they are not able to claim the trophy, but reaching the final alone is a great achievement. That is a great milestone that they have already reached. And to the champions of the land, foundation is a landmark, or Holland is a landmark achievement. Salil, you are called by Mansa and Sumareh, please. Please, Foundation, you're asked to come back and give a guard of honor to the champions, please. Foundation, please come back and give a guard of honor to Holland. The champions of the land needs to be given honor. Foundation, please, you are asked to come and give a guard of honor to the champions of the land, Holland. Holland in a jubilant mood, celebrating their first ever trophy in their trophy cabin, sponsored by Mansa and Sumareh. And Mansa and Sumareh, you are asked to come and give the winning prize to Holland, the champions of the land. Holland with their darling Ismaila Shanko, who came off the bench and scored the winning goal for them. And they will now receive the giant trophy and a cash prize of $35,000 as winners of this year's Mansa and Sumareh sponsored league final. The finalists, please, the champions, you can now come on to receive your medals. A round of applause for Holland. Team captain of Holland, you are needed here. Or Foundation, the team captain for Foundation, please, you are needed here, please. The team captain for Foundation. That is Holland, receiving medals for the very first time. They are decorated in the final. A landmark achievement for Holland. One of the goal scorers, Salom Kamara, for Holland, has got the opening goal in the first half. And then Foundation restored parity from the penalty spot and came in the second half. Holland had an almighty advantage to take the lead, but they were denied by the custodian of Foundation. But Ismaila Shanko has to leave the bench to come to the rescue of Holland as he guided them to glory. And the best player of the tournament, Mutlamin Shanko, also part of the San Francisco team, and he's also a player that is currently being scouted by TMT Football Academy. A first division team in the Gambia GFS First Division League. The captain of Foundation, please, you are needed here. And Foundation as runners-up will receive $30,000 as runners-up with sets of jerseys. All is done by the sponsor, the big man, the main man, Mansa and Sumareh, handing over jerseys, a set of jersey to Foundation. And the team captain for Foundation will now hand over this set of jerseys to his entire team. It's donated by the sponsor of the tournament, Mansa and Sumareh, for the very first time. The maiden time coming to the aid of Banyaka. Even coaches are forced to take pictures. Absolutely beautiful. And now the champions of the land will also receive set of jerseys and with the giant trophy. That is Holland. Champions of the land. And Coach Haruna Sane, the head coach of Banyaka Vision FA. He's a champion yet again for Holland. He carried Banyaka Vision FA to their first ever trophy in the youth intermediate tournament. And tonight it is also lifting a trophy for Holland for the first time ever in the history of Holland. And Coach Haruna Sane will also receive the giant trophy, the mega trophy for Holland tonight. Their first ever trophy in their trophy cabin. And as champions, they are shaking their hands up, buzzing with excitement among themselves. It's Coach Haruna Sane receiving photo shoots and footages live on LSTV1, both Facebook and YouTube. As champions, they will pocket home a cash prize of $35,000, set of jerseys with a giant trophy. And all is provided by the main man, Mansa and Sumareh. The champions of the land, they came, they saw and they conquered. Holland on the verge of celebrating their first ever victory tonight. And the darling, the protagonist, the hero is Mutlamin or Ismaila Sonko. That is a celebration for Holland, with the banner bearing Mansa and Sumareh sponsored league final. And as champions,